Everyone talks about the costume, the fets, and the accommodation, but you know what they don't talk about? The little costs that add up, everyone pays for and doesn't even realize it until the very end. So in this video, we are going to discuss all the little miscellaneous ticket items that people tend to forget to add to their budget, and they always going to have to pay for it at the end, crying to their bank, wondering how did this trip go from $3,000 to almost $5,000. And stick around until the end because I'm going to share one hidden cost that it's sneaky, everyone pays for it and doesn't even realize. But first, here at Face Candy Studio, we are all about beauty, femininity, and all things carnival. We are a woman-owned brand built by women for women who want to look absolutely tasty. So if that is you, click subscribe and join. Let's start with transportation. I know some of you may be thinking, I'm a traveler. When I get there, I'm just going to hire a rideshare or I'm going to just take a taxi to take me down the road and we're going to be all good. But Carnival in Trinidad is like New Year's Eve every single day. The prices for a simple $5 ride down the road easily going to cost you $20. And now imagine you are taking this trip back and forth multiple times a day to get to the Fete, to get to the mass camp, to go meet up with your friends somewhere, go to the supermarket to get food if you're staying in a guest house. That easily adds up. So if you are not careful, you can easily take transportation from $200 to $400 just in these little rides back and forth. It's definitely something that you have to keep in mind because it's not going to be your $5 down the road trip as it would during Easter weekend or even during Independence Day. My suggestion is to hire a driver who can take you everywhere that you have to go while you are visiting Trinidad for Carnival. This way you have a set price as to what is going to cost you and you have no surprises if you have a late night pickup versus an early morning pickup. One, it's safer and also it's easy on the budget because you know ahead of time and you can plan accordingly. Once you know what you have to pay, you split it amongst everyone who is traveling with you and then you have that cost already set and ready to go in your budget. The next miscellaneous item that a lot of us do not think about are your costume add-ons. When you are getting your costume for Trinidad, you are getting your backline costume, and that is just what you need to cover up your goodies. But if you want to get a full bra, that's an add-on. Even if you are bringing your own bra, that is an add-on. You want a backpack or a bigger backpack, that is an add-on. If you need help getting dressed into your costume, that is an add-on. And these are not small add-ons. A Carnival backpack can easily run you $400 to $1,000 depending on what size backpack you want. If you want extra arm and leg pieces, that is going to be extra. Getting dressed on Carnival Day, that is going to be an extra $100 to $200. And let's not forget any alterations. While these costumes are generally made to size, sometimes, unfortunately, you may get there and find that your costume just does not fit you as perfectly as you would like it to. It happens to almost everybody, so do not think that it is just you that is happening to. So for this situation, you're going to need alterations. Alterations would simply mean you have to sew something here or there or glue something down that just is not fitting properly. That is an extra cost that a lot of us do not consider when it comes to planning for our costumes. Now let's talk about food and drinks and general hydration. Yes, general hydration. Let's start there. You are going to be drinking and should be drinking a lot of water. Do not go there thinking, well, the Fete said that they're going to have drinks and I'm just going to drink when I'm at the Fete. No, we're not going to do that. You have to keep in mind, you're going to need some water in your room. You're going to need some water at your guest house. Drink in between the Fetes so that you stay hydrated. Even when the band say they're including food, you're going to stop off at maybe KFC or Royal Castle and pick up some food here and there. You are not going to exclusively eat when you're at a Fete or when you're with the mass band. You have to keep in mind that you will be eating in between your different experiences while you're in Trinidad. Now, this doesn't have a massive miscellaneous expense, but it is something that you want to include and keep in mind because it's still going to cost you some money. Whether you are just eating a doubles on the road, which is about $1 to $2, $1 to $2 adds up if you're eating 2 to 3 doubles in the morning, afternoon, or in the evening. It can add up. And you just want to make sure that you allow space for this. Now, ladies, let's get into some fun miscellaneous items that for Us should not necessarily be miscellaneous, but it can be miscellaneous if you are not really preparing for your Carnival Monday and Tuesday experience. And that is self-care, beauty, hair, nails, skincare, all of the shebang. Makeup for Carnival Tuesday and Carnival Monday is going to cost anywhere between $150 to $300 just for your makeup. Most of us get our nails, hair waxing, laser, eyebrows, hair, all done before going into Trinidad. However, it's still a cost that you have to include in your budget because it has to get done for your trip. These little things add up, and if you do not plan for it accordingly, you will find yourself stretched at the very end and not having the money to take care of it. And then also keep in mind, when you get to Trinidad, you may want a touch-up. Yes, you're going to want a touch-up of your Brazilian and any waxing before Carnival Monday and Carnival Tuesday. These costumes can be very revealing, and we don't want to be showing anything that should not be shown on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So even though you get wax and you get laser before you land in Port of Spain, you want to consider getting a touch-up on Carnival Sunday before you put on your Carnival Monday wear or your Carnival Tuesday costume. While getting your makeup and taking care of your beauty routine is a miscellaneous item on your budget, you can avoid any last-minute surcharges by planning ahead and booking your appointment ahead of time. Yes, Face Candy Studio does Carnival makeup on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, so click the link below and secure your spot. Let's keep going and talk about our fêtes. If you are going to an all-inclusive fête, the price is $200 plus, and that is going to include your food, your drinks, the experience, and all of that. But if you are not going to an ultimate all-inclusive, then you have to consider all the other hidden costs that goes into going to the fête, any hidden last-minute fees, if the ticket prices go up because you waited last minute. But that's not you because you are planning in advance. If you're going to a cooler fête, you have to get the cooler, you have to get your chasers. So depending on which fête you go to will determine whether you have some extra fees to enjoy the fête. If you have not already done so, check out my other video where I talk about the differences between your ultimate all-inclusives and your cooler fêtes and everything in between, so you can have a good idea as to which fête you want to go and add to your fête lineup in Trinidad Carnival. And finally, any last-minute shopping. You'd be surprised how many people land in Trinidad and forget something at home, or once they get there, realize, oh, they needed extra sunscreen, or they needed some Tylenol for their sneaky little hangover, and they just do not have it. And they end up having to take an extra ride to get to a convenience store so that they can buy these items. These last minute, oh shoot, I forgot items can really add up. So you want to make a list, pack early, and write down every single thing for every single day that you're going to need to avoid having to go to a convenience store while in Trinidad to buy it. Because remember, anything that you buy while you're on vacation is going to be more expensive than if you already bought it from home. Now, if you made it to the end, I want you to drop a heart in the comments, because that lets me know that you are serious about planning your trip to Carnival, having a budget, and not busting your budget just for you to have the most epic experience in the world. As promised, the sneaky cost that everyone pays for and tends to forget are your airport fees. If you are traveling with extra luggage, you can expect to pay airport fees. Maybe you might buy something in the airport, or some of you may want to bring home some souvenirs. And if your luggage is overweight, you will have to pay some. So here's the deal. Carnival is worth every single penny, but it does not have to break your budget. I have been to Trinidad Carnival multiple times, and I have mastered and curated a perfect budget that allows me to pay throughout the year so that when it comes time for Trinidad, I am not hit with any extra surprises. And I want that for you. So if you found this helpful, click the subscribe button, like, and share with a friend who is going to Trinidad Carnival for the first time. And don't forget, my Carnival makeup appointments are live now, so get in and book your spot so you don't miss out. As always, stay beautiful. I'll see you next time.